Welcome. Thank you for joining us for our celebration of National Youth Apprenticeship Week. We're here at Atlantic Track to kind of get together and talk about some of the myths and misconceptions that people have about the apprenticeship programs and how partnerships work together, because none of us could be in this business alone. Today I've got with me Mr. Phil Dotson, the Partnership Director of Memphis-Shelby County Schools.
Hello, my name is Phil Dotson. I am the Partnership Director for Memphis-Shelby County Schools Division of College, Career, and Technical Education. And basically what that means is that I help connect industry to education.
Ms. Bree Sellers, CEO of GPM Drones.
Thank you, Louis. My name is Brismaida Sellers. I'm with GPM Drones, and I'm very glad and excited to be here and see what this journey takes us with the apprenticeship program.
Mr. Roderick Woody, West Tennessee Regional Apprenticeship Director for the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development.
Good morning, Louis. Thank you for having me this morning. My name is Roderick Woody. I'm the West Tennessee Regional Apprenticeship Director with the State of Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development. And primarily, I'm responsible for covering the 21 counties of West Tennessee to promote and expand apprenticeship opportunities throughout the state.
And Ms. Angela Massey, Director of Human Resource and Operations for Atlantic Track and Turnout Company.
Thank you, Louis. Good morning, everyone. My name is Angela Massey. I am the Director of Human Resource Operations for Atlantic Track and Turnout.
In solidarity with the rest of the nation today, we'll be covering two topics. The first is breaking myths and misconceptions about the apprenticeship programs, and the other will be partnerships and how they work. I know we could talk about partnerships all day long, so let's hit some of the myths first. A few of the top ones that I could find were degrees are better than apprenticeships. Apprenticeships are the same thing as internships. Apprenticeships are just for construction jobs. Apprenticeships cost the employer too much, or there's no return on investment. And apprenticeships are just an excuse to get low-cost labor. So, thoughts, Phil?
I would say that I'll start out with the one about apprenticeships are the same as internships. For me, I believe that internships are more of a short-term experience for students. So of course, like in Memphis-Shelby County Schools, we do summer internships for kids. They usually last about 3 to 4 weeks, could go to 6 weeks. But kids usually get into a company and they'll, work in several different departments and, learning about the company and having a great time in the summer while getting ready for school to start back. The other side of that, if you're thinking about an apprenticeship, when I think of apprenticeship, I'm thinking about a true training platform where you have the opportunity, if you know you want to be a welder, or if you know you want to be a plumber, you're specifically working on that specific trade to upskill yourself and learn how to do the job. And while you're doing that, you're getting paid during the apprenticeship, and as you're going through it and you're achieving your hours, you're getting increases in pay as you go. And so it's really an opportunity for a true training program versus just an experience. I think that's kind of my take on it, but what do you guys think?
Well, I agree with you. We actually do, we have a couple of students from Shelby County Schools, and they do come for internship, and you're absolutely right. It's about 3 to 6 weeks that they stay with the company. They learn the processes and everything else, but they don't get paid, right? And with apprenticeship, they get pay, plus they get that professional experience and the business skills that we lack right now in,
Right.
everywhere. I mean, kids are getting out of school and they know the material, but they don't know how to apply it in a business setting. So with apprenticeship, they can actually get that.
Yeah, I would look at an apprenticeship as a career opportunity. So I'm coming in as an entry level. The plan is mapped out for me. So the career progression is already mapped out for me. Bill mentioned the wage increase. So it's everything that an individual will want going into a career. So I get an opportunity to train and earn while I go. So I earn while I learn more.
And I would just piggyback on top of what everyone said and say there are two very different things, internships and apprenticeships.
I'll hit on one of them. I think that was great because I know that's something that I see a lot of people asking. Hey, what is the difference? What's the difference? Is why is this better? Because I know for one, the internships, they get kind of a bad rap because often they are unpaid, and a lot of people think that is that's kind of what an apprenticeship is, and it's so much not. I mean, it is so important that the learn while you learn aspect. So how do y'all feel about the apprenticeships are just for construction jobs?
It's a myth, like you mentioned earlier. The topic is myth. So you have apprenticeship opportunities in all type of industry, all type of occupation. So it's not solely just the construction industry. So you have apprenticeships in healthcare, manufacturing, transportation, and logistics. Almost any sector you can name, you have an apprenticeship opportunity there.
Good.
I would just simply say, I think the West Tennessee Director of Apprenticeships is right on the money.
I would concur.
Yeah, I was pulling the numbers up for just the state of Tennessee yesterday, and in Tennessee, only 54% of registered apprenticeships are construction. Right behind that is manufacturing at 12%, public administration at 9%, utilities 6%, education 6%, transportation 2%, and healthcare 2%. So that's kind of what we're looking at in Tennessee.
Tennessee even has a grow your own teacher program now, doesn't
Yes,
it?
they do.
Yes, they do.
So I think that's something that would be really helpful for Bills.
For future educators. So of course, we're in a time where we need teachers, tons of teachers in every field. And so we call it the TAP program, of course, was teaching as a profession, but it's in about 7 schools now, and we're looking to expand it. It's a great opportunity for our young people to learn modes of training around teaching, because teaching it's a real dynamic profession. And of course, I would love to see our teachers get paid a lot more. And I do think that there are talks about having to increase teacher pay, because we can't move forward in our community without teachers, because our kids need it. And you have to have great companies that those teachers can send kids to, like Atlantic Fair, right, Angela?
And I just want to add as well, we just recently got approved for the apprenticeship program, teaching kids and teaching adults how to fly drones and how to get their Part 107 certification. So it's just not construction, is way more than that. I mean, being able to get a certification in flying drones and all the standards with the FAA, that will provide future jobs as far as like agriculture and inspections and construction and things like that. So.
And you kind of touched on it, but for that particular skill set, you can use that for just about any industry this day. So you mentioned construction.
Agriculture, real estate, we do inspections, like roof inspections and things like that. So yes, they can use it in many, many different fields. And a lot of companies are actually implementing the drones into the processes so that they can actually enhance the way they do things.
So I'll hit you up on that. Why is it important to have that that FFA license as opposed to just going to get me a drone on Amazon and going out there and trying to take pictures?
Well, if you do have an FAA license, it's actually a commercial license that is provided by the FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Administration, which allow you to make money while you're flying a drone or while you're using that specific drone to do the job that any industry actually doing. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Ms. Massey, I'm going to hit you up on this one. Apprenticeships cost the employer too much money. There's no ROI. I'm going to spend all this money to train these people, and they're going to run off to other companies, and what's in it for me?
Wrong. Myth, busting it. The ROI on apprenticeship is about $1.50 per dollar invested. Now, this is not a short, overnight money-making game. If you aren't in it for the long game, if you're not interested in building human capital and seeing young or old people or anyone come in and learn the trade and go through the 2,000-hour minimum, then it's not for you as an employer. But the ROI on it is exponential when you look at it at the 5-year mark and the 10-year mark. You look at what retention costs, you look at cost to train, cost to hire. It's really one of the most effective vehicles that we have seen. And I promise you, we've tried everything in Atlantic Track, if it's legal or ethical or moral, we've tried it. Because we've come out of COVID, dealing with those types of things. We have 5 generations that work at Atlantic Track right now. So Gen Zers, like my daughter, she has 0 interest in getting dirty every day. I assure you to work in. And the nature of our work is such that it's very physically demanding, and it's dirty, it's hot in the summer, it's cold in the winter. But through the apprenticeship, we are able to find those young individuals that are genuinely interested in this type of work, and this type of work going in the future, the welding, the CNC operating and milling. So as an employer, it is absolutely the best thing we have tried that has given us the greatest results and the biggest bang for our buck.
And just to add to that, on the other side, being an educator and watching Atlantic Track work with our students, the growth and that I see the students go through, it's amazing to watch them interact with a company that truly cares about their well-being. And if a company like Atlantic Track is pouring into these kids, then these kids are becoming more productive citizens of our community. And if we have more companies that pour into our students, then the community just gets better all the way around. So not only does it help the ROI for the company in being able with higher retention and a more trained staff, but the community impact, the passion that Atlantic Track embraces the students, and to see the students be able to experience and feel that love from a supportive company, from what I see, is just absolutely amazing. And the more companies that get involved in doing that sort of thing, where they can pour into students, it's a win-win for everyone.
It is a model for community as well.
Yep, absolutely.
It definitely.
And that's been one of my favorite parts of helping in this journey to really knocking out these apprenticeship programs is I was teaching high school in a community that they really need some good high-paying jobs, and there are good high-paying jobs just a few blocks away from them.
Right.
It's just the awareness isn't there. It definitely wasn't there 5 or 10 years ago. And that's kind of going into partnerships is you can't do this alone.
No.
It really does take a village in this case, because there's no reason to have to import labor from the surrounding area when you've got people right here in West Tennessee, especially Shelby County and Memphis. There's a lot of unskilled laborers and there's a lot of skilled labor jobs that pay a lot of money. So
I'd like to roll it over to youth. Pardon me for interrupting, but there is so much youth, and it is Youth Apprenticeship Week, and we are celebrating that, and it's kind of new. It's our first one, I think, for Youth Apprenticeship Week at the national level, and again, to spread that awareness to the young people. We may be looking at young people that have a choice to make between turning to the streets or going to work. It's a reality in many communities and many huge urban areas. So for them to have an opportunity to go at least find out about this work as a young person, I think the greatest service we can do to our community is to hold them up and show them options and opportunities.
So looking around the room, we've got a lot of different people here, different businesses, different sectors of the community. What role does your organization play in building and sustaining apprenticeship programs?
I'll start. Many of us in this room were at the table, 5, 6, 7 years ago when we sat down, trying to figure out if apprenticeship was something Atlantic Track was genuinely interested in. And I remember looking at the godmother, Miss Dolores Williams, who served many years in apprenticeship in this community and saying, what's in it for us? What's in it for me as the employer? And when that meeting was over, she came in my room and broke it down to me. If you know her, you would know. But the partnership, if you don't have each segment of the ecosystem involved in this process, it's going to be very difficult. Very difficult to succeed. It isn't difficult to succeed. It's not difficult to get started, but you need everybody at the table from day one, and you need everybody engaged in what's going on. If I had a penny for every time I call Mr. Woody or Phil, I'd be retired already. I mean, but we literally just started, and from the ground up, you know, we took the first registered apprenticeship we had was federal. At the federal level, we didn't have a state apprenticeship agency at that time. Significantly and substantially more difficult and more work than when we received our state apprenticeship agency. It's like they took the red tape out of it and simplified it so that the average employer can look at it and go, yeah, I'm for that, and then meet their workforce partners at their American Job Centers and their education partners and their other industry partners. As our program continues to grow and succeed, I often wonder where these children, we can't hire them all anymore. We started out, so having industry partners is just as critical that will get the same skill sets. So the ultimate goal is to get these children a certification and a job, a well-paying job. Right. And the rest of it takes care of itself, so.
All right, Mr. Woody, how about you?
But to piggyback off Ms. Massey, partnership is you're going to have a partnership in order to make this thing work. You may see some individuals that want to be on a silo, or employees that want to be a silo and do everything in their own lane, and they come to realize that it's not going to work like that. So you're going to need your educational partners. You're going to need your entities that work with workforce development, and you may need some peer employees to help you steer your way. You don't want to see an employer quit because they didn't reach out to a partner organization to try to well-define an apprenticeship program. So that's part of my role, is to try to articulate that information to different employers, training providers, and sponsors of apprenticeships. So with this being youth apprenticeship week, Tennessee doesn't necessarily have a youth apprenticeship program, but we do have youth and apprenticeships. And so part of what we've done with Atlantic Track and Memphis-Shelby County Schools is parlay that apprenticeship program into a pre-apprenticeship, allowing youth from the school to come in, earn an income while they're learning an occupation. So
Starting at 16 years of age.
starting at 16.
That's right.
So that wouldn't happen without a partnership.
Yep.
And Ms. Bassett and Atlantic Track has been phenomenal in cultivating those relationships with the workforce boards, with the American Job Centers, and with the school system.
So, Ms. Bree, what was one of your big stumbling blocks when you were creating your apprenticeship, and how did working with partners help you overcome those?
Well, I'm actually sitting at this table because of everybody that's here, so it actually helped us. It helped us as a company through the process to, like Ms. Bassi was saying, do I want to get into apprenticeship? Do I want to be part of it? And what is in for me, or what is, but the bottom line is that we do what we do because we want to see somebody else succeed. It's not just about us, but it's about putting somebody else with us, making sure that they too, get the certifications or get the training that they need. But yeah, it's because of everyone here and the support, including yourself, the support that we receive in trying to navigate all the documentation and the forms that are required, as far as the apprenticeship program is concerned. So
Yeah, I think one thing is really easy. Like once there are those apprenticeships out there, you can go on the us.gov website and you can just find these apprenticeships and basically copy and paste what they've done, change it to what you want.
And if you're an employer out there listening in today and you're on the fence about it, give me a call. Give me a call. We're here to help. We serve on the Tennessee Apprenticeship Council, and as an apprenticeship ambassador for the United States Department of Labor, we would be more than happy to help make the connections, the introductions, and get you started.
And she means it.
Yes, she does. And from if you're wondering, for those companies that are wondering how do we find students, the great thing about that is that I'm your connection. And so as the partnership director, as I mentioned earlier, my job is to connect industry to education. And the great thing about it is that we've got a group of seniors that are going to be graduating this year, but right behind them we got some juniors that are coming up. And then we have some sophomores that are coming. And then we have some freshmen that are coming.
That's right.
And then we have some 8th graders that are going to be moving up. And so there's always going to be a pipeline available for you. If you just have the, a lot of times in our community, I think the term apprenticeship can be a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talked about the difference between internships and apprenticeships. Internships, you just bring the kids in. With apprenticeships, you have to come up with a training plan, there's a kind of a guide, and so it can be a little scary, but our friends with the state, Mr. Woody and Ms. Massey, they are tremendous resources to help make the process seamless. And in CCTE, we like to call it our 3 E's. We like to expose, explore, and employ. And when I say expose, the first thing is that we want to make sure that we want to bring our students out to companies to let them see what's happening in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we have kids that are interested in coming out of middle school and they like building, they like constructing, we want to partner them up and bring them to Atlantic Track to see what happens.
Right.
And so that's the exposure piece. We do our Advanced Manufacturing Day, in which we partner with the Chamber of Commerce. We do, Apprenticeship Day. We do career fairs. We do exploration events in partnership with Junior Achievement and the City of Memphis with the Office of Youth Services. And so there are plenty of programs that are available to allow students to be exposed to different companies and careers. And then the exploration piece. The exploration piece could start out with an internship, and then that evolves into a pre-apprenticeship. And so it's all about evolution. It's all about what's the next step. And our new superintendent, Dr. Marie Fagan, she talks about next level readiness. What's next? We're in an interesting fork in the road in our city with our young people. And for us to truly make a difference in young people's lives and to show them that there's a better way and without getting into trouble, we have to think outside of the box. We have to be more intentional. We have to be more, we have to communicate better about the opportunities that are available. And we have to be able to lead. We have to lead. And it's not okay to just sit back in your office and be like, oh man, Memphis is this or Memphis is that. What are you doing to help?
That's right.
It takes all of us. It takes a partnership between the largest school district in the state of Tennessee is right here in Memphis.
That's right.
You can sit back and talk about it, or you can get up and be about it. And so one thing that I'll say about Ms. Massey is that from day one, she's been about it. She wants that smoke. And we can't make it happen without partners like Atlantic Track and multiple other companies. But guess what? There's so many more companies in Memphis that training programs I would love to see us inundated with training programs to be able to, where companies are like, God, I can't take any more kids. I can't take any more kids.
Right.
But guess what? I got more kids.
That's right.
And so just having that involvement and having that that desire to want to see our community succeed, and it takes all of us. You mentioned it takes a village. It does. It takes an absolute village. Number one, I was having a conversation the other day. We were talking about there's a sound barrier. And I think this new generation, with the cell phones and social media, there's kind of you get caught in a make-believe world sometimes. At the end of the day, you gotta work. At the end of the day, you gotta find something that you can do that you love to do, that you can make money doing legally and within within the lanes. But there are plenty of partners out here that would love to welcome young people in. And I just say all I have to say. It's, you know, if you're interested and excited and you want to make a difference in our community, reach out to me. I'm always, my phone never stops ringing, and I would love to talk with you. And if you have questions on how to get started, these wonderful people right here can help facilitate that program. So just talking about the partnership piece.
It is. Like, the last question we were going to do today is, can we do it alone? I mean, I think we've kind of covered that.
There's no way we can do it.
And I think the most important thing is you don't have to.
You don't have to. That's a good,
Yeah.
great point.
You don't have to. That's what we're here for. That's why we have apprenticeship ambassadors. That's why we have people at the state that are willing to help us. I think Miss Bree's just gone through the process, and can you imagine? I mean, would you?
You're still here, right?
This chair is a little comfortable, but yeah, we're still going through the process, trying to figure out, like, you know, like you were saying, like, how do we pull those kids in, and you know, it's still a lot of questions, but, you know, thankfully I have, you know, everyone here, and then we can actually go through those questions and then figure it out. You know, like, yeah.
I think we all want to see Memphis reach its potential, because there is so much potential
There's so
here.
much potential.
And this is such a fantastic opportunity for young people, anyone, but specifically young people. You can get into something like that. There's 988 apprentices in Shelby County right now, and I would love to see that quadruple. I mean,
And we have how many, 15?
we have 15. I don't, like I said, most of these are probably in some of the big construction companies, but
That's fantastic.
it's
That's
fantastic,
a good
and
number.
there's no reason this can't blow up.
Well, Mr. Woody and I have a plan.
Yeah,
We have a
we
plan.
do.
We'd like to see every business, large or small, have a learning pre-apprenticeship at least. I think I want to piggyback real quickly before I forget. The pre-apprenticeship in the state of Tennessee, what is the purpose? Why would we do that? Well, like if a student does an internship and likes it and thinks they want to pursue a career path, then the pre-apprenticeship, they can still be in high school. They're still going to school.
That's right.
They're over here a couple hours a week. I think our kids are here 4 hours a week
Yeah.
now. They're here 4 hours a week. And then by the time they graduate, the pre-apprenticeship and high school, all of those hours roll directly into their registered apprenticeship. The registered apprenticeship, quite frankly, is an equivalent of a 2-year college degree.
Mhm.
And we are seeing in our community colleges now, a lot of them are starting to recognize the work and accredit that work as we extend our partnerships throughout. So maybe you don't want to go to college today. Maybe you do want to get your hands dirty, but you may be like a student of ours, Anthony Rogers, who began as an intern, went into pre-apprenticeship, then apprenticeship while attending junior college.
He was doing
Southwest
it all at
College,
once.
Doing it all at once. And now Anthony has graduated from the apprenticeship and from Southwest and has a scholarship to go for the rest of his degree. So he said, I think I might want to be an engineer now, Miss Massey. What do you think? I can't think of a better fellow for the
That's
job.
phenomenal.
So to
That's
have
phenomenal.
that, to me, that's the final piece, because if you study workforce and people and humans, you will understand that the majority of people in the workforce that are 40-ish that don't have a college degree or an apprenticeship, they're stuck. They may have had a lot of fast upward mobility, but they get to there, and there's a certain point in all of our careers, without that piece of paper, you aren't going anywhere. So to be able as an employer to say, look, let's get you started and see if you like this, and then let's roll this into something we know you can always fall back on or build on. And then if you finish that and you really still want to be an engineer, I have tuition reimbursement at Atlantic Track to help you do that. Every major employer in this city has tuition reimbursement. So we welcome the youth.
If we could take all the kids, you know, we would take them all.
Absolutely.
So it's easier to look at a pre-apprenticeship as a try before you buy for both
I
the
like that.
pre-apprentice as well as the employer. It may not be a good fit. You know, I may have got in and I thought this was what I wanted to do, but once I got in there, it's not for me.
Yeah.
So that gives me the opportunity to look at something else.
And I've already got this set of skills that helps me move on to that next
Right,
thing.
right.
Well, and I got a little pay while
Yeah.
I was learning.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There is nothing wrong with
And
that.
that's my personal favorite talking point about apprenticeships. The average college graduate graduates with $38,000 in debt. If you go into an apprenticeship program, this is not accounting for any raises. If you go in at $17 an hour, by the time your classmate graduated college, negative $38,000, you've made $141,000 in those 4 years. So you're starting out $180,000 ahead than that person who just got out of college.
And then you can pick up later on. and
Yeah.
go to college.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 42 and I'm just now going back, so
Then you
yeah.
have the skills and you have the, the financial ability to maybe afford your own education, so you don't have to go into that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
It really is win-win. Y'all have any more closing remarks on breaking? I think we've done a good job of breaking these myths. We talked about partnerships and how they work. What else y'all got?
I would just like to say thank you all for having this platform to be able to talk about this wonderful work. Talking about the future of our youth and providing opportunities for them. That's all we can ask for. If we just have an opportunity, then we can make it happen, especially if we do it together. If we can do it together, we can make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you as well, just piggyback on what you said. Glad to be here, and thank you for giving me the platform as well to share with everybody, about the importance of being an apprentice and being part of the program as well.
My sentiments are the same. Thanks for the invite. I wasn't looking forward to being on camera, but
Hasn't been too bad.
I do appreciate the conversation and helping us expand the knowledge and information, just putting information out there about registered apprenticeships and youth apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeships and everything apprenticeships.
Well, I'd like to say thank you all for coming, my dear friends and family, because you pretty much are a family to me at this point. We've spent a great deal of time together. I'm hopeful that this will produce some results that will be beneficial to our region. I'm confident that it will. Also, I would just say I didn't really want to be on camera either. And so I thought that if we were myth busting, we could blow something up. I didn't get approval, but I tried.
She tried really hard.
I did. I spent a whole day lobbying. I just want you to know that. But
Maybe next time.
the fun busters said, no,
No.
ma'am, we're not blowing stuff up in the training building for goodness sake." Maybe next time we'll just
Maybe
do
next
it.
time.
We won't
Maybe next
ask.
time. Maybe next time.
Well, thank you all for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next time. And if there's anything we can do to help you with apprenticeship, check out our website, www.atlantictrack.com. Website.
Apprenticeship TN.
Website.
Their website.
Phil, where can they go on
They
yours to
can
find
go
out?
to scsk12.org/CCTE.
Thank you.
Yep. And we'll do our best to have everybody's contact.
We'll have the contact.
Everybody's relevant contact information. I'm not giving your cell phone number. It's free. But thank y'all so much.
Everybody
for coming
knows
in.
mine. You can put it out there. It doesn't matter.
Thanks, guys.
But
All right.
thank y'all for coming and thank y'all for
so
tuning in.
much. You think you got us?
Good.
Hey!
Hey, good job, guys.
We did try to get the.
Yeah, y'all did.